You have got to be frickin' kidding me.
What are you eating?
This is your, your mother.
You know, originally I was going to make an extremely long and detailed video talking about why I don't like Turkey Tom's content as a whole, and hey, I may still do that video since I have a lot of issues with his content, but right here, and right now, I need to talk about something important, and well, I've already had some of this audio done, and some editing already, so I might as well do it right now. Hi, I'm MangaKamen, better known as MangaKamen, and I'm ready to be dead again after all this. So, let's get right into this and meet our players. If you're not familiar with Turkey Tom, or Tord from Ed's World, he's a commentary channel who talks about various topics, and one such topic, specific creators not being able to take criticism, actually netted Tom a pretty sizable amount of views and subscribers. Which brings us to the parties involved in Turkey Tom's video, Spechie. Turkey Tom covered her in a video known as The Odd Ones Out, Tim Tom, Spechie, Tabs, Criticism Not Welcome. A thrilling name, I know. In fact, oddly enough, he talks about Spechie most in his video, roughly about 8.5 minutes, making up a majority of his video. And let's say this, there's a lot you can criticize Spechie for, and a lot of that I will agree with. And hey, it's good that she's trying to improve. But there's a real big issue with Turkey Tom's video. But first, let's give some context because that's something that Turkey Tom seems to be allergic to. So, in the video, Tom says this.
But I could get into the Discord she runs with her boyfriend, Papa Timmy. I was very nice, I was very polite as I stated before, I just asked some questions, and I was banned 3 minutes later. Real classy, Spechie, real classy. I was actually messaged by 2 people shortly afterwards, one of my fans who was in the Discord and one of the admins. The admin sent me messages apologizing for the ban and admitting that it was unjustified, and only confirmed my claims that Spechie is physically unable to process criticism. They also sent me some messages that Timmy sent in the Discord server. PSA, no one is getting kicked for random bullshit reasons, or opinions not shared by others. The only people kicked recently have either been A, fucking gay, or B, people who are coming in to rape and take screenshots to try and incriminate others in the server. Well, Timmy, I would say that message doesn't make a lot of sense because I was banned for a bullshit reason, as one of your admins reciprocated to me.
Warning! Warning! Bullshitter alert!
So basically, Turkey Tom was kicked from the server that was owned by Spechie and Papa Timmy for a bullshit reason. It's really funny that Turkey Tom says that he didn't do anything wrong, but to prove otherwise, we need to go to another site that Turkey Tom mentions earlier. Twitter.
Speaking of being self-conscious, Spechie seems to be very, very self-conscious, judging from her videos where she constantly talks about it, and her Twitter account, which I'm blocked from.
Now, here's a couple of good questions. When was Turkey Tom blocked by Spechie, and why? Well, as you just saw, Tom never explained why he was blocked by Spechie. So let's talk about tweets, shall we?
I guess all of Spechie's ad revenue is going to good use. Food can be expensive these days. Honestly though, she's gotten considerably fucking fatter recently. Probably Daft Peanut get down with all his evil tracing accusations.
Speaking of being self-conscious, Spechie seems to be very, very self-conscious, judging from her videos where she constantly talks about it, and her Twitter account, which I'm blocked from. And for that, I do have some sympathy for Spechie, and how she has body image issues.
You and your stupid thoughtfulness can go to hell.
You won't be able to find this tweet anymore, mainly because Turkey Tom deleted it. Which is ironic considering this.
Deleting her video about depression after people called her out for not understanding depression in the slightest. But deleting a video and whining about it on Twitter that you were quote-unquote trying to help people makes you look weak.
But he made this tweet tagging Spechie in it. And to prove that this is actually a real tweet, you can see Tom referencing it.
Oh, the plan is run!
A user by the name of Ykick made me aware of this tweet, and it came from July 14th, just weeks before Turkey Tom's video was released, and weeks before Tom actually went into the Discord server. And the fact that Tom was only concerned with backlash after attacking Spechie for literally nothing comes off as pretty distasteful, especially considering the fact that he apparently pretended to sympathize with her body issues in his video. This key detail Tom left out of his video would give Spechie motive to want Tom kicked since, well, he publicly insulted her, unprovoked on an issue that he knew would leave her vulnerable. How can you possibly be surprised by her reaction?
Were you knocked on the head or something?
What? Now, you may be thinking, it was just one tweet, there's no way Spechie could have seen it. Ah, but that's where you're wrong, my friends.
We may want to pay attention. This could explain a critical plot point.
As you can plainly see, Spechie herself responded saying that Turkey Tom would be blocked, because he made fun of her weight. And if you're thinking that it's a bit overkill to block someone because of one tweet, ta-da!
Well, it's hardly worth it, but boo!
Yeah, sorry, but considering that and the fact that Spechie is self-conscious about her weight, making fun of her for putting on the pounds and getting considerably fucking fatter is a completely reasonable criticism, and totally not block-worthy. For those who don't understand words, that was sarcasm! Now, you may personally disagree and think that Spechie should have tougher skin than this, and I actually agree with that. I would like to point out that Turkey Tom isn't criticizing Spechie on anything in these tweets that I've shown you. He's just blatantly insulting her, and it's entirely unprovoked in one situation. While I disagree with her deciding to block Tom, that doesn't mean I don't understand why she did it. He attacked her for no good reason, and while I do agree that Spechie does deserve criticism, this isn't criticism. This is just being a jackass. And now, we get to the real meat here. The Discord server. Now that we have this context on the whole Twitter debacle fresh in our minds, we can see there's more to the story than what Turkey Tom told us. Because now we have to consider Turkey Tom's previous Twitter interactions with Spechie from before. He went into her Discord server.
I was banned for a bullshit reason, as one of your admins reciprocated to me.
Were you, Tom? Were you? Call me skeptical, but considering there's this thing called past, or in this case, fairly recent experience, why wouldn't Spechie want someone kicked from the server if they had a history of publicly tormenting her? I can't say for sure this was entrapment. I don't think it is. But this does raise the possibility that Turkey Tom did harass Spechie on Twitter so that he could go into her server and claim he got banned for a bullshit reason, making her out to be the bad guy. And what made me think this? Why, his own video, of course, where he shows footage of himself recording the conversation in her server. Which, if I can talk about that for a second, we've got you linking tweets to Spechie's Twitter, and I find it odd you're just spamming tweets. For someone who said they were only asking questions, why would you be spamming Spechie's tweets in the server? Anyways, we're missing out on a ton of context here about this conversation, but again, call me skeptical of Tom's intentions, cause to me, it seems likely Tom intentionally went into the server to try to get banned, so he could put it in his video. Now you may be wondering, why is this even a video? Why do you care, Kamen? Are you defending Spechie? Well, like I said earlier, this was supposed to be a much longer video. However, as I went deeper down this whole mess, I felt it would be best as a standalone video. And I'm sorry, but when I see someone neglect to give context in order to paint someone as a villain, and then delete said context, I kind of take issue with that. It also doesn't help that it looks like Turkey Tom is lying about the facts of the situation. It's called lying by omission. I've already stated that publicly, Spechie blocked Turkey Tom on the 14th of July, after he antagonized her by mocking her weight. But Turkey Tom decided that this information wasn't necessary for his audience, i.e. cutting context. Hell, I'd even say he played the victim in all this. After all, he says,
I was banned for a bullshit reason, as one of your admins reciprocated to me.
Oh yeah, a bullshit reason. You just insulted her publicly twice and then came into her Discord a few days later, playing the role of the good guy that just wanted to give criticism. And what makes it worse? You actually tried to act like you sympathize with her about her weight issues. I'm sorry, but this is cut and dry misinformation. And you were clearly trying to demonize Spechie and paint her as an overly sensitive and ban-happy. Personally, I find it disgusting that you knowingly attacked her on an issue that you pretend to sympathize with in your own video, and then lie to make someone else look bad for your own gain. Now, some of you may be wondering,
But Kamen, Turkey Tom is linking tweets from Spechie's Twitter account. What makes you think that this footage wasn't recorded before Tom got blocked? Therefore, throw your entire theory out the window.
I appreciate that, but the reason I can claim this is because, once again, of Tom's video. Now, those of you with working balls in those skull sockets should be able to see what I'm talking about. If we were to listen to Turkey Tom and his footage, you can clearly see that he was banned on the 27th of July. And as I said multiple times before, he was blocked by Spechie on the 14th. So, sorry, but that won't fly. Now, is Spechie a good person? I don't know. But there's a lot of people who would say that she isn't. And because of that, it's easy to make you believe that the worst about someone when they're already hated or disliked. However, you can't just make things up to try and prove it. That's not how this works. And that's exactly what Turkey Tom did. He decided to forgo this information. He lied by omission in an attempt to get people to believe that Spechie was the absolute worst version he could make her out to be. Even if you don't think that he actually had malicious intent, the fact that he lied by omission is something that is horrible. And the sad part is, it worked. Almost 500,000 people saw this. They listened and believed to Turkey Tom. He's the good guy. He's criticizing Spechie, a girl who can't take criticism. And no one who watched this video bothered to think that maybe there was a little more to the story. Congrats. Congratulations. Well, I guess there was one exception to that. So, the final word on this isn't me trying to stand on a soapbox telling you that you can't insult people. You can do that all you want. I don't care about it. I may disagree with it, and I may not care for it, as I've stated. But I'm not going to tell you that you can't do that. And while those tweets are jokes, mean-spirited jokes, Spechie should have had tougher skin. But what I take issue with is when you do that and then turn around and say that it wasn't right to be kicked from a server because you did nothing wrong. Turkey Tom, don't stand there, piss on my leg, and tell me it's rain. The moment you claimed that there was no reason for you to be kicked from the server is the moment you misled your audience. And that's it. I'm MangaKamen. Have a nice day. Oh, and one more thing before I go. Tom getting kicked from the server for apparently getting kicked for a bullshit reason. Apparently he didn't even read the rules, since he didn't read the rules that Spechie herself made in the server. Do not spam. Will result in ban. There's also don't cause or stir up drama. Take it to the DMs or leave the server. Which, you know, with you spamming Spechie's tweets for some reason, could easily fall under both rules. Heck, your footage kinda has a weird gap there, as it comes off like you just started spamming her Twitter for no reason. So even if we ignore you insulting her publicly twice, you still broke the server rules. And by the way, these rules haven't been edited since they were made in January of this year. Even if you want to claim that these rules are BS, Tom, wait, what's this? From Tom's server! Rule 6, don't excessively spam. Rule 2, don't come into the Discord with intentions to start drama or to entice others to start drama, whether it be against Tom or another YouTuber. Huh. Really makes you think.